love the family feel of Fresno. How, again, family and community go together because our community feels like family as well. We know everybody in the community on a first name basis. To dispel the myth that this place is very, very dangerous, there's certain people in our community that we respect to the fullest. So people do stand out and they drink, but if Mrs. Johnson walk by, we'll hold a beer behind her back or cease to do those things. Then we speak with a lot of respect too, because she demands it. How you doing, Miss Johnson? Do you need any help with your groceries? Those things. And she'll sit and talk to us because she don't see us as thugs or shooters. She sees us as young black men with potential to do anything that our heart desires. So those two are together, but transformation is the biggest thing because this age of technology, we got young children coming up. So by the time they turn 4 years old, they know how to navigate through computers and anything that has to do with technology. So I think that this whole thing is going to shift because unless they come up with a way for the computer to tell what color you are, we got a fighting chance.
What I love about West Fresno, the first thing I'll start with is the terrain. Like I said, understanding that you can have the city and the country life is honestly, I feel like that's amazing. I feel like that kept me kind of grounded. I don't have like a big city boy mentality. I can probably go camping and won't worry and be too spooked. So I would have to say the terrain. Being able to make that shift very fast, whether I'm on my bike, I've been on my bike in a lot of rides, going from whether downtown to the country. I'll have to say that, the terrain for sure. Second thing, on there, people. If you can read that, put people, and the reason for that is just because people are everything. There literally wouldn't be a me, or if it wasn't for people, there wouldn't be a lot of us in this room if it wasn't for those around us that cared about us, those that molded us, those that cultivated us. People, I'll have to say the people in that community. It's for sure something I love about West Fresno. And I think every single one of them, whether they affected me positively or negatively, every single person in West Fresno, and people in general, but I would definitely say I love the people in West Fresno. They will always find a way to make you laugh, even in times where you probably having the worst day, but somebody will find a way to make you laugh, whether you know them or not. You can have those conversations with strangers. If you're not scared and you can stand on your 10 toes, you can have a conversation with just about anybody. But definitely in that community where they feel like they're not heard. I think I was somewhere earlier and they said this is the only part of town where you can probably stop and talk to somebody for about an hour. And that is very true. And it's just because these people in West Fresno don't feel heard. So when they get the opportunity to voice their opinion or just speak, they will speak. And so, especially if you're willing to listen. So I would say that. The last thing I put, the culture and life, and the reason why, I mean, that's home. The culture of West Fresno is me. That like it's embedded in me. It was all around me. It just, the life that's there, knowing that you can walk outside, you can't hear the kids, you can't smell the food. You will see another soul if you just stepped out your front door, or if you just driving down the street. You will hear that music. It's just, you will see the family. You're gonna see birthday parties anytime over here. So just understanding the life and the culture that is here. I would definitely have to say that.
I love the people, and having been there so long, I know a lot of people. And we seem to all get along, you know, especially the older people. The younger people, and they're a different focus, but when the older people are together, it's a lot of laughter, a lot of music, a lot of eating, and we enjoy each other. And that's one of the things I like most about it. High school, the Edison High School. Edison High School is like the ruffle on the bottom of the bed, or it's like the cornbread with the meal that you're going to eat. It's like the substance that holds everything together. Now, it's changed quite a bit, but it's still the focus that most of the people living in West Fresno attended Edison High School. And we were Tigers, we are Tigers, and we are Tigers for life. And when something actually is being changed or we're being made aware of it, it usually comes through the high school, from the kids there, or the community may hold meetings to discuss something that someone has heard. But the high school is really the nucleus for our community. You have a variety of churches. No matter what you are or where you want to go, whether it's a Catholic church, a Baptist, a Methodist, whatever you want to do, you have a variety of choices that you can make. And what makes it even better than that, the people that attend these churches are a variety of people. They come from all walks of life, and they seem to fare well and get along very easily with each other. I like going to church, and I think everybody should take their young kids to church, because that's what gives you a foundation. And living in West Fresno, it gives you something that you can ground yourself with. Even when you send, like I send all my kids and grandkids away to college, to HBCUs, and I'm not putting in an extra plug for HBCUs, but I think that they are the best kept secret in the United States. And they all have, I've been rewarded. A dividend on my investment. I feel good about that. It doesn't matter where you go or what you think or what kind of environment or background you have. We have it all here in West Fresno, and I think West Fresno is a beautiful place. And I insist that the kids go away, and if they choose to come back, they're more than welcome. And hopefully the city will try and embrace them and find something for them to do.
Old houses, front porches, and music. I'm a sucker for old craftsman houses, and I love old neighborhoods. I know we can't have, houses everywhere. We also need apartments, but I think that I think great neighborhoods have both. I love front porches. I think you can have them, depending on how you design housing, you can have them for both. I think they're great places to hang out. We spent a lot of time, as kids, myself, spent a lot of time hanging around in our front porch at home. That was big. I mean, everybody. Summers were hot. We didn't have AC. Where were we? Outside. And music. I've always loved a neighborhood where you could hear your neighbor playing their music. Some people might not like it as much as I do, but I've always enjoyed it. And when you could drive around your neighborhood or be on a bike and go from block to block and hear what was happening through just people's music and laughter and whatever else was going on, I think it's the most beautiful thing.
I love the community. I love how strong-willed people are here. And I love that there's a lot of activities for kids to do. Kids always have a safe place here. Activities for kids is important so they don't join gangs, so they don't go on the off way. It's usually when the kids are bored, nothing to do. Okay, I'm gonna go on the bad. Whether it's swimming, opening the playground, pool tables, whatever it is, but just to get the kids off the street.
The West Side will always stand for these three things to me. And the reason they stand for is togetherness will always stay on the West Side, because it's looking in first grade at the little white boy with red hair who just showed up the day of the field trip. He doesn't look like anybody else, and you pick him to be in your group because why not? Because you feel something with him and he's really cool, and he later becomes your best friend. It's picking the girl who used to tease you in every class, and you choose her to be your first lover. It's picking the teacher that has nothing to do with you, looks nothing like you, but knowing they want you to succeed in everything you choose to do. It will always represent togetherness in that everybody will always be there for anybody else, no matter what. If you know you're going through something and you tell your closest friends who are on the West Side, they will help you in one way or another, in any way they can. I've done it, and I have friends who have done it for me, and I will always do that. I know my second one is football or sports. And I say sports as in a reference to opportunities. Sports is giving me my opportunities to not only check my own health and my weight, but to be great. The first year I've ever wrestled, I ended up being a regional champion in the 175-pound weight class. The next year, I did football. I broke my knee, but then ended up 8th grade year, I was a starter on a championship football team for Gaston. I also wrestled that year, and I ended up coming in 2nd place in the Valley to a person who was nationally ranked, and I will always feel proud for that. And I picked faith as my last one, because no matter what, I believe in God. Some people believe, I believe it's Allah. Some people believe in multiple gods, you know. Whatever you may be and whatever you may worship, you will always be able to do that in Westside Fresno.
Family is people that you've included in your interpersonal circle, and it don't necessarily mean blood, but it means it could be grafted in. Kids that feel comfortable around you, older people that you use as mentors, that give you advice, church, the corner store down the street, the store around the corner, the old lady across the street, that's family. And people that you trust your kids with, that have the same values you do, that's family. Okay.
Easy access?
Mm-hmm. I can get out of my house and go walk to where I need to go and don't have to catch 4 or 5 buses to get there. That's easy access. Or services that need to be here that have left us again need to be here. And people don't feel like they have to go way across town and another side of town to get the things that they need done. Easy access. If I don't leave anything else for my children, our grandparents had it, my mother owned her own house. This is not about stacking, this is about ownership, self-empowerment. Simply means, power means ownership, not renting, not leasing, but owning the things that are important to you.
What I love about Southwest Fresno is the sense of belonging. Once you become part of the community, you're there for life. Community, everybody there has a sense of community. They want to make you feel belong, and you're truly feel like you belong to something, and you're part of something. Heritage is, there are so many people. It is so mixed of people, you know, from Hmong to Black to Hispanic, Punjabi. They're all theirs. And so it's such rich heritage in that area that it makes you curious about their cultures and want to reach out and see everything in their eyes as well. And then strength. Everybody there, because it's been given such a bad view, that a lot of people show the strength to show people that they're not what you think they are. So these 3 words I feel really fit Southwest Fresno.
So communication, I have communication down. Like I said, if we have everyone's input on what they want changed and see changed in the west side of Fresno, then communicate that to anybody that's trying to make that effort for the change. And then support. We can make the change, but we have to have that some type of support to make that happen. Guidance. I know a lot of people are confused, stuck, and just don't know what to do. So having that type of guidance for us to put us on the right path will show us that we are doing something right. And perseverance. I've used that word more than once because everyone can persevere if they put their mind to it and know what they want for this west side of Fresno.
I think the people make the community, right? I mean, there's decisions that are made on land use and stuff, but ultimately it's the people that create the environment, the culture, and and the place. So that's why I put these three. So the people, and I love the richness of the diversity that we now have. I don't want, and I've heard in conversations that a lot of the African American community is moving out. I would love to bring some back in, because that is part of the history of the community, and I think it's richer because if we can have if at the African American community stay there and be a part of the next 20 years of Southwest Fresno with this development. But I'm so glad that it's diverse, and I would welcome more diversity. Yeah, and that comes with the faith aspect of it, more synagogues or whatever the scenario is, and having those active in the community, and then there to be awareness of each other in these people groups. So people, in the place, it's like I want to turn a redlined area into the best part of Fresno. I want to be a part of that. Right? And I want people to say, man, it's like, I want to go to Southwest Fresno, the way they talk about River Park, right? It's like, no, I want to go down there because they have all the cultural music, all the cultural foods, it's fun, it's vibrant, yeah. So I think we have an opportunity to change the trajectory of things. And it's already happened. People have been doing some amazing stuff over the last 20, 30 years. And then both of these create that. Right? So when you develop these two, this comes naturally, and that includes the culture, the parks, the activities, the things that are there for the kids, for the seniors, for the families, for an individual, a single person. So if we can get these two right, I think this will happen naturally in a healthy way. At least I hope.
I would say it is family, community, friends, just love. Like, I feel love from community members. And most importantly, I would say the diversity of cultures. That diversity of cultures, when you think of like what your grandmother, home remedies when somebody's sick, the Hmong neighbor was, go get some lemongrass out of my yard, make some tea for your husband when he's suffering from COVID, or the chili, the vinegar, apple cider that another grandmother from a Latino family gave me. Like, just different little things that was really, like, it just made me smile when we're going through COVID. And we're like, okay, your community members, somebody brings a pot of stew, like little things that I don't know if that still happens in bigger, newer communities, but yeah, so I would say the diversity of culture leads into the love that you feel from your community too, so yeah.
I really love the community because I like things. I know I grew up doing cheer, and my dad was a football coach, and I know all the coaches that, for the Pop Warner League, they all did it for free. Like, people were spending their time with those kids, mentoring them and all that, just for free, just because they wanted to, and they're Tigers for life, a lot of them. So I feel like I love stuff like that. I like also the community, mostly Edison stuff. Like, our games, they used to be so big because of our community. Everybody would show up and show out. And then the second word is talent, because there is a lot of talent down here. Like, I see so many talents in sports. I know people did a lot of, I have my best friend made a movie, and it's super good. So many people seen it. There's just like so many like hidden talents out there, like creativeness.